My friend, sit with me for a few minutes. Let me tell you something that changed the way I look at life forever. Have you ever noticed that some people smile even when life is falling apart around them, while others frown even when everything is going right? What if I told you that happiness has nothing to do with your money, your job, or your luck? What if happiness is a skill, just like riding a bicycle or reading a book, and you can learn it starting today? My friend, sit with me for a few minutes. Let me tell you something that changed the way I look at life forever. Many years ago, I met a poor farmer. He had almost nothing. His clothes were torn. His hands were rough from years of hard work. But every single morning, he woke up singing. He smiled at strangers. He laughed with his children under a small tree outside his broken house. One day I asked him, "Why are you so happy when you have so little?" He looked at me, smiled, and said something I never forgot. He said, "I am not happy because of what I have. I am happy because of what I choose to feel." That single sentence taught me more about life than any expensive book ever could. You see, my friend, happiness is not something that happens to you. Happiness is something you build brick by brick, choice by choice, day by day. It is not a gift from the outside world. It is a decision you make on the inside. Most people believe the opposite. They believe, "I will be happy when I get the big house," or "I will be happy when I get the promotion," or "I will be happy when I find the right partner." But here is the painful truth. If you cannot find happiness where you are right now, with what you have right now, you will not find it later either. Because happiness is not hiding in some future moment. It is hiding inside you right now, waiting for you to open the door. Let that sink in for a moment. Happiness is not out there somewhere in the future. It is in here, inside your own mind right now. I want you to imagine two men. Both men lose their jobs on the same day. Both men have families to feed. Both men are scared. But one man sits at home and says, "My life is over. Nothing good will ever happen to me again." The other man sits quietly for 1 hour, feels his sadness, and then stands up and says, "This is a setback, not the end. I will find a new way. Same situation, same pain." But two very different futures because of two very different choices in the mind. This, my friend, is the first secret of lasting happiness. You cannot always choose what happens to you, but you can always choose what you think about what happens to you. And your thoughts decide your feelings. Your feelings decide your actions. And your actions decide your life. Let me say that again, because it is that important. Your thoughts create your feelings. Your feelings create your actions. Your actions create your life. So if you want a happier life, you must start by guarding your thoughts like a soldier guards a castle gate. You cannot let every negative thought walk in and make itself comfortable in your mind. You must learn to stand at the door of your own mind and say, "Not today. I will not let fear and sadness and doubt control me today." Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You are thinking, "That sounds nice, but my life is really hard. You don't know what I'm going through." And you are right. I do not know your exact pain. But I do know this. Every single person who has ever lived a truly great life has walked through pain. Every single one. Think about the people you admire most. The ones who built great things, who helped many people, who left the world better than they found it. Do you think their road was smooth? Do you think they never cried at night? Do you think they never doubted themselves? No, my friend. They failed, they fell. They lost money. They lost friends. They lost hope more than once. But they kept a small flame burning inside them, even in their darkest hours. And that small flame is what we are going to talk about today. Because that flame is the real secret to being happy every single day, no matter what life throws at you. Let's talk about the first big idea. I call it the power of acceptance. Many people fight against reality. Something bad happens, and instead of accepting it and moving forward, they spend months, even years, asking, "Why did this happen to me? It's not fair. I don't deserve this." Now, I understand that feeling. Life can feel very unfair sometimes, but here is the hard truth. Fighting against something that has already happened is like punching the air. You waste your energy, and nothing changes. Real happiness begins the moment you stop fighting what already happened and start focusing on what you can do next. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine you are driving, and suddenly it starts raining very hard. You cannot control the rain. You did not ask for the rain. But you can control whether you turn on your headlights, slow down, and drive carefully, or whether you sit there angry at the sky, refusing to move forward. The rain is going to fall either way. Your choice is what you do while it is falling. Life will always send storms your way. Sickness, loss, disappointment, rejection. This is simply part of being human, but you get to choose your headlights. You get to choose your speed. You get to choose your direction. So today, I want you to make a quiet promise to yourself. The next time something painful happens, allow yourself to feel it. Do not pretend to be strong when you are hurting. Cry if you need to cry. Feel the pain fully for a while. But then after you have felt it, stand up, take a deep breath, and ask yourself one powerful question. What is the next right step I can take? That single question can pull you out of the darkest valley. Now let's talk about the second big idea. I call it the garden of the mind. Imagine your mind is a garden. Every thought you plant grows into something. If you plant seeds of fear, doubt, and anger, do not be surprised when your life is filled with weeds of sadness and stress. But if you plant seeds of hope, gratitude, and courage, your life will slowly fill with flowers of peace and joy. Here is the tricky part. Most people never choose what seeds to plant. They let anyone throw any seed into their garden. The news throws in seeds of fear. Difficult people throw in seeds of anger. Social media throws in seeds of comparison and jealousy. And these people wonder why their garden is full of weeds. You must become the gardener of your own mind. Every single day, you must ask yourself, what am I planting today? Am I planting worry, or am I planting faith? Am I planting complaints, or am I planting gratitude? This is not about pretending everything is perfect. This is not about lying to yourself. This is about choosing, on purpose, again and again, to focus more on what is good, what is possible, and what you can still build, rather than only on what is broken. Let me share something simple you can do every single morning. Before you check your phone, before you check your messages, before the world has a chance to throw its seeds into your garden, take 30 seconds and think of 3 things you are thankful for. It could be as simple as a warm bed, a working pair of legs, or a cup of coffee. This small habit trains your mind to search for good things first. And what your mind searches for, it usually finds more of. Now let's move to the third big idea, and this one is very close to my heart. I call it living with purpose. Have you ever noticed that people who have a strong reason to wake up in the morning seem to handle hard times better than people who don't? This is not an accident. When you have a purpose, a real reason for living beyond just paying bills and surviving, your mind has something to hold on to during storms. Purpose is like an anchor for a ship. Without an anchor, even a small wave can push the ship far off course. But with a strong anchor, the ship can face large waves and still stay in place, ready to sail again when the storm passes. So I want to ask you something important. What is your purpose? Not your job title. Not your daily to-do list. I mean the deeper reason behind what you do. Maybe your purpose is to give your children a better life than you had. Maybe your purpose is to help other people who are struggling the way you once struggled. Maybe your purpose is to create something beautiful that did not exist before you came into this world. If you don't know your purpose yet, that is okay. Many people spend years searching for it. But here is a simple way to start. Ask yourself, what makes me forget about time when I am doing it? What problem in the world makes me feel angry enough that I want to fix it? What would I do even if nobody paid me for it? Your answers to these questions are like footprints leading you toward your purpose. Once you connect with your purpose, even a small one, you will notice something amazing. The same hard days that used to crush You will start to feel like challenges you are willing to fight through, because you know what you are fighting for. Now let's talk about the fourth big idea. This one might be the most misunderstood idea in the entire world. I call it the truth about positive thinking. Many people think positive thinking means walking around all day saying, everything is perfect, everything is wonderful, even when your house is on fire. That is not positive thinking. That is denial, and denial will hurt you in the end. Real positive thinking is not about ignoring problems. Real positive thinking is about believing deep in your heart that no matter how big the problem is, you have the strength to find a way through it. It is the difference between saying, this problem will destroy me, and saying, this problem is hard, but I will find a way to handle it, even if I don't know how yet. Do you see the difference? One version gives up before even trying. The other version accepts the difficulty, but refuses to accept defeat. I have seen this play out again and again in the lives of people who later became very successful. They did not succeed because life was easy for them. They succeeded because, in the middle of their hardest moments, they refused to fully believe the voice inside them that said, you cannot do this. They still heard that voice. Everyone hears that voice sometimes, but they did not let that voice have the final word. You have that same power inside you right now. The next time a fearful thought whispers, you are going to fail, you do not have to argue with it loudly. You can simply answer quietly, maybe, but I am going to try anyway. That one small sentence, repeated enough times, can carry you through years of hard work toward a better life. Now let's talk about something very practical. I call it the habit of daily discipline. Happiness is not only about your feelings, it is also about your habits. A person who eats poorly, sleeps very little, never moves their body, and constantly puts off important tasks will struggle to feel truly happy, no matter how positive their thoughts are. Your body and your mind are deeply connected. When you take care of your body, your mind becomes stronger too. This does not mean you need a complicated routine. It simply means choosing small, healthy habits and repeating them daily. Drink enough water, get enough sleep, move your body even if it is just a short walk. Eat food that gives you real energy, not food that makes you feel tired and heavy. These small choices, repeated every day, slowly build a stronger, calmer, happier version of you. There is another kind of discipline that matters even more. I call it emotional discipline. This means choosing not to explode in anger the moment something upsets you. It means choosing not to give up the moment something becomes difficult. It means choosing to keep your promises to yourself, even when nobody is watching. Every time you keep a small promise to yourself, like waking up on time, or finishing a task you said you would finish, you build something very powerful inside you. You build self-trust. And self-trust is one of the strongest foundations of lasting happiness. When you trust yourself, you feel safe inside your own mind, no matter what is happening outside. On the other hand, every time you break a small promise to yourself, you weaken that trust a little bit. This is why so many people feel a quiet unhappiness they cannot explain. It is not always about big failures. Sometimes it is about hundreds of small broken promises to themselves, piling up over the years. So starting today, I want you to choose one small promise you can make to yourself and actually keep it. It could be as simple as making your bed every morning, or reading for 10 minutes before bed, or drinking a glass of water first thing when you wake up. Keep that one small promise every day for the next 30 days. Watch how your confidence and your happiness begin to grow, simply because you started trusting yourself again. Now let's talk about the fifth big idea. I call it the power of giving. This might surprise you, but one of the fastest ways to feel happier is to focus less on yourself and more on someone else. When we are deeply unhappy, we often become very focused on our own problems, our own pain, our own lack. This is natural. But staying stuck in that focus for too long can actually make the unhappiness grow stronger. Something powerful happens when you shift your attention toward helping another person, even in a small way. Maybe you call a friend who is going through a hard time. Maybe you help a neighbor carry their groceries. Maybe you simply listen, really listen, to someone who needs to be heard. In that moment, your own problems do not disappear, but they shrink a little because your heart is busy doing something good. This is not a trick. This is not something we made up to sound nice. This is one of the oldest truths in human life. When you give value to others, you receive value back, often in ways you did not expect. Sometimes it comes back as gratitude. Sometimes it comes back as new friendships. Sometimes it simply comes back as a warm feeling inside your chest that says, "My life matters. I made a difference today." So if you are feeling stuck in sadness, try this. Find one small way to help someone else today. It does not need to be big. It does not need to cost money. A kind word, a genuine compliment, a few minutes of your time, these small acts of giving can begin to heal a heavy heart faster than almost anything else. Now let's talk about the sixth big idea. I call it letting go of comparison. One of the biggest thieves of happiness in the modern world is comparison. We look at other people's lives, especially online, and we compare our behind the scenes struggles to their carefully chosen highlight moments. We see someone's new car, their vacation, their smiling photos, and we quietly think, why can't my life look like that? But here is the truth nobody tells you enough. You are not seeing their whole story. You are not seeing their sleepless nights, their financial stress, their family struggles, their private fears. You are only seeing the small piece they chose to show the world. Comparing your full, complicated life to someone else's highlight reel is like comparing your entire movie to someone else's trailer. It is simply not a fair comparison. The moment you truly understand this, something inside you can relax. You can stop the exhausting race of trying to look successful to others and instead focus your energy on becoming genuinely better than the person you were yesterday. This is the only comparison that actually matters. Not you against someone else, but you against your old self. Ask yourself often, am I a little wiser today than I was last year? Am I a little kinder? Am I a little more disciplined? Am I a little closer to the life I truly want? If the answer is yes, even a small yes, you are winning, no matter what anyone else's life looks like from the outside. Now let's talk about the seventh big idea. I call it facing fear with faith. Fear is one of the most powerful forces in human life. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough, fear of what other people will think. This fear can quietly control our choices for years without us even realizing it. Many people stay in jobs they hate, relationships that hurt them, and small lives that do not match their true dreams, simply because fear is whispering, don't take the risk. Stay safe, stay small. But here is something important to understand. Fear is not always telling you the truth. Fear is simply trying to protect you from pain, even pain that might never happen. Fear often exaggerates danger to keep you comfortable and unchanged. Faith is the opposite voice. Faith does not promise that everything will be easy. Faith simply says, even if this is hard, even if I am scared, I believe I can handle whatever comes, and I am willing to try. Faith is not the absence of fear. Faith is choosing to move forward one small step at a time, even while your hands are shaking. Every person who has ever built something meaningful in this world has felt fear. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to act anyway. It is choosing faith as your traveling companion, even when fear is sitting right beside it in the car. So the next time fear tries to stop you from chasing something important, do not wait for the fear to disappear completely. It may never fully disappear. Instead, take one small step forward, even a tiny one, while the fear is still there. Send the message. Ask the question. Start the project. Apply for the job. Fear will follow you into new situations, but so will your courage, and over time, your courage will grow stronger than your fear. Now let's talk about the eighth big idea. I call it the power of persistence. Many people give up right before they were about to succeed. They face a few failures, a few closed doors, a few painful rejections, and they decide, this is not meant for me. But often, the very next attempt might have been the one that worked. We will never know because they stopped trying. Persistence is simply the decision to keep going, even when progress is slow, even when nobody is clapping for you, even when it feels like nothing is working. Persistence is not always exciting. Sometimes it looks very boring. It looks like showing up one more day, doing the work one more time, trying one more approach, even when you are tired. I want you to imagine a farmer planting seeds. He plants the seeds, waters them, and then waits. For many days, nothing seems to happen on the surface. If he judged his success only by what he could see each day, he might give up after a week, thinking nothing is working. But underneath the soil, in the dark and quiet places he cannot see, roots are slowly growing stronger every single day. Your dreams work the same way. Often, the biggest growth happens in places you cannot see yet. Your effort is not wasted, even when results are slow to appear. Every attempt, every failure, every lesson learned is quietly building roots underneath the surface of your life. If you stay persistent long enough, those roots eventually break through the soil, and the world finally sees what you have been building all along. So if you feel like giving up today, I want you to remember the farmer and his seeds. You may not see results yet, but that does not mean nothing is happening. Keep watering your dream with effort, patience, and faith, and trust that growth is happening, even in the dark. Now let's bring all of this together, because I want you to walk away from this video with something you can actually use starting today. Happiness is not something you find by accident. Happiness is something you build with daily choices. It begins with guarding your thoughts, refusing to let fear and negativity control your mind without a fight. It grows stronger when you accept what has already happened and focus your energy on your next right step, instead of wasting time fighting the past. It becomes steady when you plant good seeds in your mind every single day, choosing gratitude over complaints, hope over despair. Happiness deepens when you connect with a purpose bigger than yourself, something that gives your daily struggles real meaning. It strengthens when you practice real positive thinking, not pretending problems don't exist, but truly believing in your own ability to handle whatever comes your way. Happiness is supported by daily discipline, small healthy habits for your body, and small kept promises that build trust with yourself. It expands when you give to others, because a heart that gives regularly rarely stays heavy for long. It becomes more peaceful when you release the exhausting habit of comparing your life to others, and instead focus only on becoming better than you were yesterday. And finally, happiness is protected by faith in the face of fear, and by persistence in the face of slow progress. These two forces, faith and persistence, working together, can carry an ordinary person through the darkest days and into a brighter future they once thought was impossible. My friend, I want you to understand something very clearly before we finish today. You do not need perfect circumstances to be happy. You do not need a perfect past. You do not need a perfect body, a perfect bank account, or a perfect family. Waiting for perfect conditions before allowing yourself to feel joy is one of the saddest traps a person can fall into, because that perfect moment never actually arrives. There is always another problem waiting around the corner. Real happiness is learning to build a quiet, steady joy inside yourself, right in the middle of your imperfect, unfinished, beautifully human life. It is choosing again and again to focus on what you can control, to be grateful for what you already have, to keep growing toward what you still want, and to be kind to yourself along the way. I want you to think back to that poor farmer I told you about at the beginning. He had almost nothing by the world's standards, yet he chose joy every single morning. Not because his life was easy, but because he decided, deep in his heart, that his happiness would not wait for perfect circumstances. He built his happiness with his own two hands, out of gratitude, purpose, and simple daily choices. And so can you. So today, right now, before you close this video, I want you to make a choice. Choose one idea from everything we talked about today, just one, and decide to practice it starting today. Maybe it is guarding your thoughts more carefully. Maybe it is keeping one small promise to yourself. Maybe it is helping someone else, even in a tiny way. Maybe it is taking one small step forward, even while you are still afraid. Whatever you choose, choose it with your whole heart and begin today. Not tomorrow, not next Monday, not when things feel easier, today. Because your happiness, your real, lasting happiness, is not waiting somewhere out in the future. It is waiting right here, right now, inside you, ready to grow the moment you decide to nurture it. You have everything you need inside you already. The strength, the courage, the wisdom, it is all there, waiting for you to use it. So stand a little taller today. Breathe a little deeper today, and remind yourself gently but firmly that you are capable of building a genuinely happy life, no matter what has happened to you before, and no matter what challenges still lie ahead. If this message inspired you today, subscribe to Zudda Principles and turn on notifications so you never miss our next motivational video. Share this video with someone who needs encouragement today. Remember, your future begins with the choices you make today. Until next time, keep believing in yourself and keep moving forward.